If anyone knows any lawful reason why these two should not be joined together,
This time, nothing will happen.
This time nothing will happen.
Stop that wedding! Mommy, that's Daddy!
This is the third time I'm wearing a wedding dress, and every single time the real wife shows up. First Tunde, then Obi, and now Richie.
No, not again. How does this keep happening to me? If this is not my village people, then what is it? This is the third time I'm wearing a wedding dress. And every single time, now saw the real wife go just show up. First Tunde, then Obi, and now Richie. How do I always fall in love with married men? Am I blind? Or is somebody making sure I never get married?
Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, let me know where my amazing friends are watching from.
Cynthia met Tunde on one evening where she herself not even planned to go out. Her friend had dragged her to a small birthday hangout and she planned to leave early. But then, Tunde walked in. He was calm, well-dressed, and carried himself with quiet confidence. When he smelled at her, it felt warm, safe. They started talking, and before she knew it, hours had passed. That night, he insisted on dropping her off. Outside, she paused when she saw his car. A big Toyota Sienna. Clean, comfortable, the kind of car people whispered about. Her friends exchanged looks. Cynthia, are you sure this man is single? One of them said quietly. This one looks like somebody's husband though. Cynthia just laughed, say, beg, make an arrest, so a person of you drive good car again. Tunde simply smiled and opened the door for her. That was the thing about Tunde. He always knew what to do. From that day, everything felt perfect. Tunde called every morning. He checked on her during the day. He showed up when it mattered. If she was sick, he was there. If she was tired, he listened. He made her feel seen, chosen, loved. To Cynthia, he was everything. But there were small things she noticed, but she never held on to them. She had never met his family members. Not once. The first time she asked, he smiled. Oh, my mom is not in the country right now. Another time, my siblings are scattered. Very busy people. What about his friends? They are always working. You know how Lagos is. Cynthia would nod and let it go. After all, he was always there for her. If he wasn't with her, he was at work. Or so she believed. Her friends asked again one day, have you met anybody close to him at all? Cynthia shrugged. It's not that deep. At least he's present. That's what matters. And truly, Tunde was present. He gave her attention, care, and love that felt real. 2 years passed like a dream. So when Tunde proposed, Cynthia didn't hesitate. She said yes with her whole heart. This was it. Her forever. But sometimes, the love that feels the most real is the one hiding the biggest secret.
Cynthia's wedding day finally came after a month of planning, fittings, and excitement. She woke up that morning feeling like her life was about to begin for real. The white gown hung neatly in the corner of her room, shining under the soft light. She stared at it for a long time, smiling to herself. "This is it," she whispered. "I'm finally getting married." Her friends surrounded her, helping with her makeup and fixing her veil. They teased her, laughed with her, and reminded her how lucky she was to have found a man like Tunde. Even the friends who once doubted him were now fully on her side. "You see," one of them said, "not every man with Sienna is married. We judged him wrongly." Cynthia laughed, feeling proud of her choice. In her heart, she believed she had chosen right. The church was beautiful that day. White flowers decorated the aisle, and soft music played as guests filled the seats. Tunde stood at the altar in a neat black suit, looking calm and confident. When Cynthia walked in, all eyes turned to her. She looked radiant, glowing with happiness. As she walked down the aisle, she kept her eyes on Tunde. He smiled at her the way he always did, the same smile that had made her fall in love with him 2 years ago. Nothing felt strange. Nothing felt wrong. The ceremony began smoothly. The pastor spoke about love, trust, and commitment. Cynthia held Tunde's hands, her heart beating fast but steady. She was nervous, but it was the good kind of nervous. Then the pastor cleared his throat and said the words everyone expected. "If there is anybody where get reason why this marriage no go hold." There was silence. Cynthia relaxed slightly. This was just a formality, she told herself. The pastor opened his mouth to continue, but suddenly the church doors burst open. "Stop this wedding!" The voice echoed through the entire building. Everyone turned at once. A woman stood at the entrance, breathing heavily, her face full of anger. Beside her were 3 young children holding on to her dress. At first, Cynthia thought it was some kind of mistake, but then the children ran forward. "Daddy!" one of them shouted happily. They ran straight towards Tunde. The church went completely silent. Cynthia's smile slowly faded as she watched the children hug the man standing beside her. Tunde looked frozen, his face drained of color. The woman walked closer, her eyes fixed on him. "So, this is what you are doing," she said, her voice shaking with rage. "You want to marry another woman while your wife and children are still alive?" A loud gasp spread through the church. Cynthia's ears started ringing. She looked from the woman to the children, then back to Tunde. "Tunde, what is she talking about?" she said, her voice trembling. Tunde opened his mouth, but no words came out. The woman stepped forward and faced Cynthia directly. "I am his wife, and those are his children." It felt like the ground had disappeared beneath her feet. The beautiful church, the flowers, the music, everything suddenly felt fake, like a dream turning into a nightmare. Guests began to whisper. Some stood up to get a better look. Cynthia's friends stared at her in shock, their earlier jokes now haunting them. "You said he was always busy, so this is why." Cynthia felt tears burning her eyes. She turned back to Tunde, desperate for him to deny it, to say it was all a lie. Tell them she's lying." Tunde tried to touch her, but she stepped back like his hand would burn her. Behind him, the woman held her children close, watching Cynthia with a mixture of anger and pity. Cynthia looked at the family, then at the man she thought she knew. That was the day her perfect love story ended, before it even began. Cynthia did not recover from that heartbreak quickly. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but the pain refused to leave. At first, she cried every night. Then one day, the tears stopped, but the silence that replaced them was worse. She stopped going out. Her friends called, texted, even showed up at her house, but she always had one excuse or the other. "I'm tired, I'm not in the mood, maybe another time."
But that another time never came. She avoided weddings, avoided love stories, avoided anything that reminded her of what she had lost. The white dress she once loved so much stayed hidden in her wardrobe, untouched. Men? Cynthia didn't even want to hear it. Anytime someone tried to introduce her to a new man, she would shut it down immediately. Please, I'm not interested. It wasn't anger anymore. It was fear. Fear of being fooled again. Fear of not seeing what others could see clearly. Fear that maybe, just maybe, something was wrong with her. So she built walls. Strong ones. Months passed like that. Quiet, lonely, safe. Until one afternoon, something changed. It was a simple day, nothing special. Cynthia had stepped out to get a few things, something she rarely did these days. She wanted to be in and out quickly. No conversations, no distractions. But as she walked past the small shop, someone called her name. Cynthia. She stopped. Slowly, she turned. A man stood there, looking at her like he knew her, but she was sure she had never seen him before. He stepped closer, smiling politely. I'm sorry, you might not remember me. Cynthia frowned slightly, studying his face. He was handsome, well put together. There was something calm and confident about him. He said, I'm Obi. We met briefly at your friend's event last year. Cynthia searched her memory, but found nothing. He continued, I just wanted to say hi. I've seen you around a few times since then, but you always seem like you're in a hurry. There was something about his voice. Gentle, respectful, not forceful. Cynthia hesitated. Normally, she would have ended the conversation quickly and walked away. But this time, she didn't. I've just been busy, she replied quietly. Obi nodded, like he understood more than she was saying. He said, I won't take your time, he said with a small smile. I just thought maybe you could use someone to talk to. Cynthia looked at him again. For the first time in a long time, she didn't feel pressure or fear. Just calm. She didn't say yes, but she didn't say no either. And somehow, that was enough. From that day, Obi started showing up. Not too much, not too often, just enough. A call here, a short conversation there, no pressure, no rushing. And slowly, very slowly, Cynthia found herself letting her guard down. She began to smile again, to talk again, to feel again. Her friends noticed the change immediately. Who is this Obi? One of them asked carefully. Cynthia smiled, a little shy, and she said, he's different. And this time, she believed it. But what Cynthia didn't know was that her story with Obi would not end any better. One evening, as Cynthia sat in Obi's car, laughing softly at something he said, her phone buzzed in her hand. A message. Unknown number. She almost ignored it, but something made her open it. Her face faded instantly. The message read, So you've started again with another man? Cynthia's heart skipped. Her fingers trembled. Then another message entered. This one too will not last.